Hello, YouTube. It's Silver Age Dave. I am in the comic room, and it is I'm going to call this a big day. I am going to talk about a bunch of things maybe today. We'll see how long the video goes. We'll see if anyone shows up. It's a midday, just I don't even know what today is. Monday? Today's Monday. And hey, Linkovich, nice to see you. Fun Comics, thanks for joining me. I've got a whole bunch of big stuff. Ben Compton, what a pleasure to see you guys in here. I've got a whole bunch of things to talk about today. Still morning here in California. There you go. Yeah, I'll bet it's a beautiful morning. I don't know. It is a beautiful morning here. Sunny, a little brisk, a little cold, but just beautiful. Matt, nice to see you. Weapon X Squall. Hey, one of my favorite entries from my 100, 200 subscriber contest, which was, I think, a couple years ago now, was Weapon X Squall. I learned a lot from him. I've turned myself into the Styrofoam King of Toledo. So thank you. Nice to see you. He just a great guy. Great video he put together. Thank you for that. Gomez, my broski. How you doing, sir? I hope all is well. We got a Stephanie Gomez original right there. I always keep that here at my grading desk. I get originals from a few people now. Hey, Area 51 Mike, Comic Man Andy. Nice to see you. Thank you. I get a few originals from people. Another one that I received recently is this one from Matilda Gothica. And I guess there's no, I'm in Erie, PA. I love Pennsylvania. I'm actually signed up for a race in Titusville, Pennsylvania in October. It's called Oil Creek. It's a 100-mile ultra marathon. But I love the topography you guys have in Pennsylvania. I think it's just absolutely beautiful out there. So yeah, Matilda sent that to me. It's absolutely gorgeous. And careful when you open on Batman, she put on the back. There's a few people who stand out in the comic community as true ambassadors. And I think Matilda is one of those special people in our community that has been around a long time and is always supportive and generous in nature. And as long as we're talking about Matilda, let me just right off the bat, I know there's not a lot of people in here yet, but I've got this flag hanging up here now. And some of you might remember, hey, Kevin Taylor, nice to see you. Yeah, thank you. Happy birthday. I appreciate that. The flag, some of you might remember, and this is probably going back a couple years now, but I did a flag tag video. There are quite a few people in our community who are veterans, who have served our country. And, we had a whole lot of, bad news this past week with OMG Chris. He had served our country, and he was one of the guys when I did the flag tag that I had shouted out. And so I'm going to keep that flag up there for a little while for Chris. And hey, thank you, Comic Man Andy. I appreciate you, brother. So I feel especially bad. The community, there was a major loss, but I know there was a very tight bond with Matilda Gothica and Chris. And in fact, the last set of comic contest roundup videos that I did, this was one of the tags that was on that was going on at that time. It was a June 28th. They extended the deadline to September 11th. And that was an OMG Freedom Matilda Gothica support video that was going on. And so, heartfelt sympathies for everyone's loss there. Hey, Brandon, good to see you, my friend. Hey, Matt, enjoy the weather. It is beautiful outside. So, okay, so moving on to brighter things. I've been very active in a lot of ways I've got a unboxing to do. I'm going to hold off on that for a few minutes, and I've been doing some buying, and I had announced I was going to start doing some selling. I actually last week I bought a collection. It was comic books that really didn't fit what I did, but it was a gentleman passed away, and his sister just wanted to clear house on all this stuff. Thank you, Gomez. I'll tell you about my birthday in just a minute. It was yesterday, and it was just a perfect day. So these people called me. They said, "Hey, we got some books. They're a little out of the ordinary. And by the way, do you like dinosaurs?" And I like dinosaurs. I've got a degree in archaeology and anthropology, and love dinosaurs. So I hightailed it out. It was pretty far from me, and I bought a lot of the books. Got a great price on them, and a lot of golden age type of things. Like this particular book was in there, and I've got to be careful when I open these because some of the covers. Oh wait, actually, this one's okay. It's literally it's a book of golden age covers, and not everything in this person's collection fit what I do, but some of these things are just awesome, and so a couple of them I'm keeping, but I've actually sold quite a few. I put on eBay. And hey, thank you, Jamie. Poor Man's Comics. Nice to see you. Thank you. And so I was buying things, and after I bought the books, I said to the folks, I said, "Well, listen, you got. I mean, I'm talking like a wall of dinosaurs, like new in the box toy dinosaurs, and some antique stuff. Like this was in there. It's a cast iron bank. Okay, so pretty cool. But a wall of dinosaurs. I ended up buying a whole wall of dinosaurs. I've got them in storage, and I'm going to sell those too at some point. What is that book called? That is called Action Mystery Thrills. The comic book covers of the Golden Age, 1933 to 1945. I'll show it up close because I recommend it. It is beautiful. And they had a lot of other stuff. I'll show a couple of these that I think I'm going to be selling these though. This is Roy Thomas Presents Phantom Lady. There's volume 1, 2, and 3 in here. And this is, going back. This is old superhero stuff. I don't know when Phantom Lady came out. Looks like 1941. Yeah, Police Comics, Feature Comics. So this is... just a cool assembly of Phantom Lady stuff. Okay, and then they had, hold on guys, they had this book, which I'm going to do a quick scan through. It's called Brenda Starr, Good Girls Bondage and Other Fine Things. But it's a comic book, pre-code. And, that was big stuff, damsel in distress. And so it's got a lot of her comic stuff in there. They had, I'll just show a few of these. They have Miss Fury. And this is a big hardcover book in there, Female Superhero, 1944 to 1949. And I think this is a collection of the actual comic strips that came out. I don't know if it was an actual comic book. I just don't know enough about her. And then they had two other things that were cool. I'll just show these as long as we're in here. Hey, I'm missing out on all kinds of stuff. Let me say some highs. I think I said hi to Jamie Hodder. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Dre Boogie, nice to see you. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, thank yous. I really appreciate it. Bub's Comics is in here. Kevin Taylor. Don't mail those to me, Silver. I'll pick them up in person. I hope so, because I want some moonshine. Bubs was supposed to be here for Fantasticon. I don't know, a month ago it was canceled, and he was bringing me some moonshine, and I can't wait. So I will hold on to that if that's what you like. H.J. Ward, okay, is a famous creator, and there's a lot. This is a whole book on H.J. Now, there is some nudity in here in some risky stuff, but it's a whole collection of painted work that H.J. Ward did. There's some Lone Ranger panels in there, and I think those are from the magazine series. Here's some Green Hornet H.J. Ward did, and he also did. Yeah, there's Superman. Check that out. That is beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I think in here, he was doing Superman covers when Superman had the smaller logo on his chest, and I don't know if he was part of that. Yeah, see, there's the smaller logo Superman cover. So it's a cool AJ Ward book was in there, and then this Norman Saunders book by David Saunders was in there. And this is, again, just a lot of cool pre-code stuff. I don't want to flip through. I thought this one had some more risque subject stuff in it. But anyway, so I bought all these books and then thousands of dinosaurs that I'm going to be selling at some point. So I've been busy buying and selling a little bit. I have a book. Hey, Warlord, nice to see you. I have a book that I just sold. I didn't think I would sell it, but I celebrated my birthday in a couple of ways, and one way was buying a Grail. And the only person that knows about that yet is Luther Manning. I was talking to Patrick the other day, and I had listed a few big books to help pay for my birthday present to myself. And I priced this one really high so it wouldn't sell. And then a guy sent me an offer that was real low. I put the eBay listing in wrong, and it allowed low offers. And I emailed back and forth with him a little bit, and he did end up buying this. And so I'm packaging this up today and shipping it out, but it's the last time that'll be seen on the Silver Age Dave channel. And for people that know me, I am not the kind of guy that parts with stuff easily. I get an emotional attachment. Now, I happen to have 5 copies of this, but I'm still attached. It was my best one. But this is going to a guy who has the top rated CGC Star Wars collection in the country, or close to it, is what he told me. And so I know it's going into good hands, and it will be loved and taken care of, and it's a beauty. So we have that. So who's ready for an unboxing? We covered a little ground. Oh, so this is my birthday present. I'm going to move Matilda's beautiful artwork over here by the, I'm going to call it the Chris flag. I'm going to move this over to a safe spot because I got to get that boxed up. And so to celebrate my birthday, a week or so ago, hey, 713's in the house. Nice to see you. Felix, how are you, sir? So to celebrate my birthday, about a week ago, I ran I'm going to call it a swampy marathon, a place I like to run, Oak Openings Metro Park. And it was, ankle deep mud all over the place. I did 26 miles there, which is a marathon. I'm trying to do a marathon a week, and that was a challenging one. And about a week ago, I said, you know what? My birthday's on a Sunday. I asked my wife, I said, look, kind of, the kids are all home. It's like every day's a Sunday, really. And I said, would you mind if I took my birthday day, rather than being home all day, would you mind if I just ran all day? And she said, I don't care what you do. So yesterday, what I did, I started at 5:30 in the morning, and I covered 52 miles. I ran 52, actually, to be exact, I ran 52.4 miles. One of my sons said, Dad, if you just add 0.4, that's 2 marathons. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. So I extended my distance a little bit, and I ran all day. Hey, Prowler, good to see you, sir. And it was the best birthday. I had it's kind of a virtual world. So I had a lot of my running friends and a lot of our regular life friends that were out supporting me, some virtually. Some people came out and they did chalk drawings and things. I kind of announced what my route was going to be. And when I did finally get home, I had a few of my kids that showed up. Orgo, yeah, good Lord. Hey, thank you for being in here. a couple of my kids, came out, hung out with me a little bit. And the first 45 to 47 miles, beautiful, felt great. And I ate wrong during the day, and my stomach went south. That's very common with ultra running. And so the last 5 miles were terrible, but I had family come out and support me, and some friends were out showing their support from a distance. And then when I got home, I had the most beautiful birthday supper waiting, and my wife had really outdone herself. And then my daughter, Gwen, who's just great, she cooks from scratch, and she made homemade cake pops for me. Just a great night. And by 8 o'clock, I was in bed, and woke up at 2 in the morning, ate another dinner, which was beautiful. So great birthday, only 52 miles. Yeah, Mike, I know. Hey, you know what? I joked with one of my best friends. I said, I'm just glad I'm not 53, because that would be crazy running 53 miles. Anyway, let's get to it. We're here for an unboxing. We're comic people. This unboxing, it might be guessable what's in here. This book has been waiting 40 years, 35 years anyway, 35 to 40 years to be in my hands. The LCS that I used to ride my bicycle to had a copy of this on their wall every time I went in there, which was sometimes weekly, sometimes every 2 weeks. Every single time I went in, I asked them, can you take the book off the shelf? It was just a raw copy, and this isn't it. But I would take the book off the shelf, they'd set it on the counter, and I would just be in awe. And the book was $100. They offered to do $90 for me. And, at that time, I think I was in junior high or, brand new to high school. I was riding my bike there, so I wasn't 16 yet. And $90 was just all the money in the world, and I didn't buy it. And I don't know why. All the years I was buying comics, I never bought one. I never pulled the triggers. The price went up. And a year ago, I watched this exact same book go up for auction, and I was tracking. I loved it because it's got just the coolest date stamp I've ever seen. I'm going to take this off. I did like Reggie, and I think Alex the Comic Hoarder is doing now. I pre-opened the thing for sanitary reasons, and so I know there's a book in here, but I removed the mail tag on it. And so I saw this book sell. Hey, Mr. Grail, thank you for joining us. I saw this book sell 1 year ago, March of 2019, and it sold for $4,000 more than I thought it would, and $4,000 more than I said I would ever be able to pay. And shock of all shocks, a week or two ago, I happened to be on eBay, where I haven't been. I've been being a good boy, and lo and behold, it's the exact same book. And I count myself very lucky. What had happened? A gentleman who had one of the largest toy collections in the country. I think he had, I don't know what happened. He might have passed away. I don't know. No, it's not dinosaur related. But you're not too far off. And so this toy company, they buy and sell toys. They bought this whole collection, and they said they got so much in, it'll take a year or more just to list everything. And so they're blowing stuff out, and all the odds went in my favor on it. Weird ending time, horrible pictures, the description was terrible, and they had a lot of books ending at the same time. And so I said, if there was ever going to be a time, this is it. I stayed up extra crazy late and did it. So I'm going to cut that. I did put a little piece of tape there to hold it together. This box showed up just a little bit ago. I have everything shipped to my office, and I had I had my iPad recording. I had my phone recording. I watched the mailman pull into the parking lot, and I had it all recording. And he's a comic book guy. I might show the video at some point. But when he came in the door, this stuff has to be signed for if it's over a certain amount. And And I said, hey, do you mind? I'm going to record this. He said, no problem. I said, I just need to make sure I don't get an empty box. And he was there with me. I cut it open. I opened it up, and I gave out the rebel yell when I saw what was in here. So I'm gonna set this off here, and I'm gonna open this up, guys. I'm shaking. This is the second time I've seen this book. I saw it earlier today for just a couple minutes. Hey, Patrick, nice to see you. Thanks for your help this weekend. I talked to Patrick. Like I said, he's the only one in the world that knows what's in here. So I was shaking when it arrived at my office, and I held it for the first time, literally in probably 40 years. It was like 1982, 38 years, when I held that raw copy, and I could never come up with the 90 bucks. And so I held it for like literally a minute. And get rid of that box. We'll put it here. And I'm going to unveil this one. I never thought I would own this. I bought it for way less than it sold for 1 year ago. And so I'm looking at it as, yeah, it's like Birth of a Child. I'm looking at it as divine intervention, that this book came to me for my birthday. And that's why I sold that Star Wars. Patrick helped me in negotiating that one a little bit with the guy who ended up buying it. Thank you, Patrick, for that. So this is the back of this. Man from Beantown, thank you so much. Happy birthday. And Comics on the Mind. And here we go. I am going to show you the back. Okay, the flaw on this book, as far as I could tell, is this piece of tape right here. It runs back to front. It's just a short little spine sealer. And there we have it. Guys, I got a smile that hurts right now. It actually, my face is hurting right now. Kyle Walker, so nice to see you. Felix, thank you. Splash Page, Mr. White Gloves, it's going great. I don't have the white gloves on. This is, what do I win? Bubs is the man. Some people know me pretty well. These are Rockmen, which I guess you could say could be dinosaurs. I'm going to take the Mylar off of this thing and get it out of here. I haven't done that. This has been my lifelong Grail book. And how I never owned it, I do not know. I do not know how this came to be. Check out that date stamp, guys. I'm going to try to get in close on it. I've never seen a date stamp like that. This book came out, it was 8 of 62. Now, I've seen a book with a June 1st date stamp on it, A Journey into Mystery, number 83. And, hey, Sam, nice to see you. Thank you. And so this date stamp here could potentially mean May. Maybe it was received in the last days of May. I think it might have been a 5 for June 5th. But either way, I just thought it was the coolest date stamp I've ever seen. And the piece of tape that's on here, there it is, over here. When you roll the cover around, you can barely even see it. I don't know what took me so long to get this thing. But like I said, it was divine intervention. And speaking of divine intervention, we got Alex Comic Quarter in here. And Alex, I loved your Saturday video. He did a great Chris discussion, a talk about faith. And I'll tell you what, Alex, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I shared this earlier. I ran 52 miles yesterday for my birthday. 52.4 is what it ended up being. But I was thinking about you so many times. And what Alex said is, when he's, and I'm going to paraphrase and not say it as good as Alex, so check out his Saturday video. But what he said was, anytime he's at a life low, anytime he's hit with challenges, what he does, he prays to God for more faith. And I thought it was so fitting. It's such an eloquent and intelligent way to go through life. When you just can't take anymore, you just pray for more faith. And, you know, I loved it. And I often think, you know, God didn't promise us it would be easy. He just promised he'd be there to catch us later. And I just love the idea of praying for more faith. So this, I'm saying, was divine intervention. It was a poorly set up auction, poor pictures. And I literally saw this book sell 1 year ago for $3,000 more than I paid. And I wrote it off. I said, I'll never own one. You guys might have seen me on that video. I said, I'll never own that book because I just can't afford to. And then, you know, somehow, some way, for my birthday, it works out. And I think I said hi to Comic Man Andy. C. Woodard, what a great guy. What a great community member. Thank you for being in here. Hey, Metarog's in here. Roger, thank you so much for being in here. Yeah, Alex is the best. There's a handful of people that inspired me to make videos when I started, and I've often shouted out Alex, and I'm trying to think. Oh, why can't I remember the name? The couple, Alex, who Comicaholics, and Bad Avenger, and you know, certainly I can't leave Captain Strangeliffe out. There's a handful of people that were making videos, and I said, you know what, maybe I'm going to make videos. So, guys, I can't stop thinking about this because it's been so many years, and I can't think of a better item. I'll zoom in here. Patrick, you are an expert. I know Alex's videos lately have been saying, I don't know how to grade anything, and so I think that's funny because Alex is an expert on this hobby. But Patrick is as good as they come at picking grades. I've seen so many of his unboxings, which just such a genius way. And so many people are using that method now. You know, with the piece of tape and you know, the thing Patrick and Mike do on their videos. It's just beautiful, and it's so smart. How you guys did that, and it's a testament how it's caught on in the community. So, hey, Kingdom Comics is in here. Nice to see you, Kingdom Comics. Tito, right? I think so. Captain Kirk, how you doing, buddy? So I'm just sorry I'm not showing more stuff. Let me show something Alex might like. I was talking about a collection of books I bought, and this was in there. I'm going to keep this one. I'm selling most of the stuff. But this was in their Action Mystery Thrills. It's a collection of Golden Age covers, and this is really cool. They've got actual old photographs of newsstands. Can you imagine? Look at that newsstand right there. And these are actual people. That's in the store. And so this book, there's no waste of words. It's just cover after cover after cover after cover, and it just goes on and on. And anytime you get to a point and you say, oh, that's the coolest one, and then you turn the page and there's another one. So I think if you're Knights or Simon Comics or so many guys at Night Tiger that are doing Golden Age, if you don't have a book like this, I think they're fairly inexpensive, and it's a way to look at these covers. If you can't afford to buy them, like me, then you could certainly afford to look at them. There's an old Detective Comics. Anyway, Action Mystery Thrills. Cool book. And guys, I don't even know what more to say. Hey, Phil, thank you for joining in here. So anyway, hey, Hoosier Nerd's in here. Nice to see you, Hoosier Nerd. I'm going to say a couple hellos. Maybe I missed people. I hope I did not. So monster unboxing. I think it's the biggest unboxing video I've ever done. And I'm just so blessed right now to, you know, I can't even believe it. I'm going to rearrange the wall of comics back there and give this a spot. Higher than a 4 or 5. Well, I'm afraid. I don't know. I think, you know, if Patrick ever made it out here, there is a little bit of creasing in there, And this was graded in 2018. And so I don't know if it was mailed in or done at a convention. I don't know if there's room for bump. I don't see any wrinkles on it or anything that could be fixed. And it says right on here, on the thing, it says tape on cover, which that's the only tape, that little tiny, whoop, I'm on the wrong side again, that little tiny piece of tape there, which I don't think you can hardly even see, and then there. Guys, I don't, that's it. That's all I've got. I really appreciate, those are deep and bright. Yeah, this one was not, I find it, I find it aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if it can be cleaned or pressed in any way. The back cover, I think maybe, I don't know, but I'm not going to worry about it, because that one I'm hoping is with me for a long time. And it was an interesting auction, because what they did is they closed out. They had they had a whole bunch of big stuff, and they had all the end times exactly the same. There was a Tales of Spence 39 that ended up selling. It was a 3.0 and ended up selling for $3,800. And if I could have been on both of those auctions at the same time, I think I would have been bidding that one also. But they ended them at the same exact time. And there was other stuff. There was a lot of other stuff that they had maybe 6 or 7 auctions close it literally exactly the same. And, not, in my opinion, not the right way to do it, but it worked out great. I think we would all agree. Tiger Fist, thank you so much. Tiger Fist has got a great channel. Tiger Fist was a member of the community for a long, long time, but started recently making videos. Very enjoyable. Actually, another Luther Manning shout out. He texted me or messaged me that Tiger Fist was doing videos, and really enjoyed those. The circle stamp on top, I believe, is a date stamp. I showed that right when I unboxed it. I've never seen a date stamp like that, and I liked it. A year ago when I saw this book go, it was on eBay, and I watched it and I bid on it, and I came up $4,000 short from where it ended up selling. And I said, I'm never going to own that book. It's just gone crazy. And then, I don't know what the odds are. And I really believe there's a karma that floats around. And when I saw that might be, the book was received in May. It might be June 5th. I know of 1 or 2 other Journey to the Mysteries that have June 1st stamp dates or early June stamp dates. So I'm guessing it's it's got to be either May for 5th month or June 5th is what my guess is just a craziest date stamp. Hey, Paulo, nice to see you. So that's the example. Charge people for entry. You know what? The comic room is open. If anyone makes it to Toledo, I've had so many YouTube guys come here. I gotta take a sip, guys. I'm celebrating today. I've had so many YouTube guys come in here, and we drink beers. I've had guys come and be like, "Oh, I'll be there a half hour," and 3 hours later, we're still, drinking Bud Lights and talking comics and laughing and sharing stories. So, yeah, you know what? That could be, Patrick. And in fact, I'm looking at it real close up, and I have bad eyesight. I got to take out my magnifying. It might, Patrick, that is a real good guess. It might say 5 cents on it. I don't know. See, just to the side there, it looks like a cent. That is a great guess. So I'm unbelieving. So anyway, anyone who can get to Toledo, I welcome you. And Ah, very funny. Tiger Fist, that is good. Go over there and sub right away. I don't know if you can click on the links anymore. Um, and I think they changed it. Don't tell me that, Dave. Yeah, Brandon, go visit your mom soon. Soon. 45 minutes. Well, shoot, Warlord. You got to get here then. So, I took these out. I had these on a stack. I've got a bunch of these Marvel Masterworks that I've collected over time. And it was always nice. And if you notice, I've never even unwrapped them. I always kept them wrapped up. And of course, when the True Believers came out, I scooped up a bunch of those. But all the while thinking, there's no way I'm going to own that book. So really, truly an amazing thing. Let me show something for. I've shown some Superman cards before, and I've got a real cool one. Oh, that by the way. I did the flag tag a while ago, and with all the OMG Chris stuff that happened, I'm going to keep that flag up there for Chris for a little while. He did serve our country, and I appreciated him in the past for that, and I'm just going to keep that as part of the desk for a little while. This is cool. I've shown these Superman cards a few times. But these are from 1940. Alex, if you're still in here, I think they're great. But this particular card, this is number 12. This is the first appearance in the cards of Luthor. Okay, so he wasn't initially Lex Luthor, but this is in 1940. So it's just shortly after his debut in, I think, Action 123. And I just find it to be a cool piece of history. Action 123 is another book I'd love to own someday. But shy of me owning that, I've got a 1940 Luthor card. And what was happening in here, he was a mad scientist, genius, and arch enemy of Superman, had perfected a high-frequency atomic detonator, which was capable of hurling 1 million volts of electricity. And he ended up unleashing that on Superman, but Superman said, no big thing. He just bounced that right off his chest. So that's a 1940. And I'm slowly but surely collecting a bunch of these cards. And there's other ones. This one, he's capturing an elephant that escaped. Okay, and a lot of these are very whimsical. And that one, I think I showed on the Bub's chat that I was on. Hey, Mastodon, I just noticed you in there. No, you're not late. Everyone who arrives. I appreciate that. There he's grabbing his snake, right? And I missed out. This was another cool auction. I missed out on a couple of cards that I really, really wanted. And but I got those, so that was beautiful. Mastodon, that is my unboxing today. It's a book I never thought I'd own. Who Dat is in here. Nice to see you. Old Sunday Papers on eBay. Yeah, that is a great idea, and a little more affordable. Guys, I think if I stay on any longer, I'm just going to keep picking this book up and showing it again. So it's been 40 minutes of me talking about stuff. So, I just want to finish with my heartfelt appreciation. We never know what the future is going to bring. And we never know, if you don't say it, people never know. So I just want to let everyone know, for the record, how much, this community means to me and the people in it. And what I'm going to do moving forward on videos, I'm going to, I think, share a little bit more of my my real life different things. I talk about running and I talk about some other aspects, but I think I'm going to share a few more things that I think might be good, and maybe that brings people closer together. I like the idea of that. Bulldog 66 is in here. The high numbers are a lot more expensive on those 1940 Superman gum cards. Good to know. I didn't know that. I'm new into the card collecting. Oh my goodness. Who Dat? I was looking to buy one for quite a while. I kind of announced it, and then this came to be. and I couldn't be happier. But let me know what you want for that one, because you know how I roll, is I like multiples. But for now, this is probably all I can afford. I'm actually selling some things to make room. I don't know if I have to talk to Big E's or Thorough or who I talk to about getting on an auction at some point. But I have a few things I want to share. And I've got stuff on eBay, but I was talking to someone and I said, I'd just soon get the stuff into the hands of the community, but I don't want to be a comic sell channel. So let me ask you guys a question. What if during my videos I had a book, and I'll just, obviously this is nothing, but what if I said, hey, I want to sell this book, I would take $80. And if anyone buys it, great. If not, a week later, I'm going to put it on eBay for, $90 or $100 or whatever the amount is. I've never done anything like that, but I don't want to like offend anybody if I was going to do that. So let me know what you think, if that would be offensive to anyone or if that would be okay. Maybe I would do stuff like that. Guys, thank you so much for could try Instagram. You know what? Let me talk about something real quick. I put a posting up on Facebook Marketplace, and I've gotten so many. I was telling Patrick this the other day. I've had so many people reach out to me and offer to help me by offering me, this is one of the books I had in my picture, offering me like $100 for that. And I got a lot of dealers. I got a lot, and I don't, if I'm going to sell something for $100, that's on me. But it really was almost a waste of time. I've got a few local guys that have been here that have bought a few comics, and that's been fun. People I can build relationship with. But I had, my Facebook thing was really a weird one. And I think I only have like 5 Instagram subscribers. What I've come to grips with is I'm just not a technology guy. And so when someone leaves me a message, I go on Facebook like once every 6 months. I was on there yesterday for friends who wanted to support my 52-mile run. But other than that, it might be 6 months before I go on there again. Instagram, I think Erod was my first, you call it, subscriber on Instagram. And I had gone on. He told me how to do it. And I haven't been on Instagram probably since. So it might be a good idea if one of my kids did it, but I don't know how to do that stuff. So I like the idea of in person. I like the idea of knowing my stuff is getting into the hands of a collector. My goal, I shared this with someone. Hey, Great Legends is in here. Holy moly. That's my Grail book, Great Legend. Rob, that is the book I've always wanted. Finally, it's here. So I like the idea of getting my books into the hands of collectors, people like me that love them and appreciate them, that aren't necessarily just in it to flip. And so my goal is to price the books higher than a dealer can pay and lower than what normally a store would be. Yeah, it's a beauty. That is a beauty. So, in selling comics, I've come to grips that there's no sense in me selling everything. I thought, in a perfect world, if there was a lottery winner or a Hollywood movie star that was just a total nerd like me and just wanted it, we could work out a number that would be really, really a great number. But that's not going to happen. So I think what I'm going to do is some piecemeal stuff. And maybe if everyone's cool with it, yeah, I believe you, White Gloves. I absolutely believe you on that. So I think I might start picking some things out and saying, hey, I'm going to sell this, and I'll show it. And if someone wants to buy it, that's great. But I don't want it necessarily be an auction with pressure or any of that thing. So that's what I might do, and move forward that way a little bit, not too much, now and then. And anyway, guys, that's it. So I think I covered everything in my description. Correct me if I'm wrong. Grail unboxing. buying, which was, books and dinosaurs and other stuff. I don't see anything laying around here that's a need to show. Oh, this was kind of funny. The dinosaur guy that I bought 1,000 dinosaurs from had this. I'll show the actual Far Side. He had a photocopy of it, but he had this Far Side, which is really, really a great one. Who doesn't love Gary Larson? And I'll zoom in on it. Okay, so leave it to Gary Larson to find funny stuff to do. And guys, that's it. I'm just going on and on now. So thank you so much. Unless anyone has a question, I guess I could extend it a little bit. But it's a great day. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Oh, one other thing. I buy stamps now and then. I don't collect stamps, but I have, anytime there's superhero stamps, I buy those. I happened to be in the post office the other day, and they had this stamp set that's out. So if you get to the post office, I thought it was great. I bought a bunch of these. In these times right now, being happy and having a great attitude and having a smile on your face is so important. And so I bought some of these, which just make me smile, man. In fact, the only music in the Silver Age Dave comic room, the only music in this place is, I'm going to try to point at it, right there, which is a Sesame Street. It's like that old-time TV thing that you turn it and it plays Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood. And it's an old-time toy that probably all of us had. And so that one made me happy. And then as luck would have it, they also have the other stamp they had in there, which I thought was cool. Going back to dinosaur theme, they had the Tyrannosaurus Rex theme stamp. So there's comics and artwork and media all around us if we're willing to find it. Another shout out for OMG Chris. I wanted to talk about him today. If you have a flag, you don't have to be from the United States. If you have a flag of your own, I know we've got a lot of people in other countries. Be patriotic. It's it's such an important thing. But that one's for Chris. He'll be here with me. And guys, that's all. I'm going to sign out with that. So thank you for being part of this. Big, big day for Silver. Okay? Silver Age Dave is out.